Okay, so I went out on my porch and I really couldn't make it very far. I made it to my porch. Um, I have anxiety issues and economic issues. I don't drive. I don't have a bike. I don't really have any. I mean, I have bikes, but I can't use them anymore. They're either none of them are suitable, really. Like I've actually spent a lot of money trying to get a good bike sorted out. And a really good friend of mine even spent like $800 buying me an electric years ago. And while it's awesome, it's too heavy and it's impossible to secure. It's still kind of an electric bike is pretty much a theft target anywhere. And it's especially a theft target here because this town is a small, old refinery town in a red state, and it's not bike friendly at all. It's not Amsterdam, and it's the Fat Tire Saunders bike, right? So it doesn't even fit in some bike racks, and you can't just secure the wheel and because you have to secure the wheel, but you can't just secure the wheel because the battery and electronics are in the frame and the motor is in the wheel, and those are both good resale value for a thief. Uh, Yet it's fun to ride. I mean, it's great to ride. I like it. Uh, but at the same time, it's also scary to ride. It's funny that the world went all masks because I have an organic vapor like respirator, and that's great for exhaust, right? Like this town is in the mountains, effectively, Appalachia, and you can't really give the cars a wide berth. There's not fields to cut across. It's roads cut into the hillsides, so um uh you're always right next to the cars. It's terrifying, but also it's toxic because you're basically huffing. It's like following them in a tunnel. It's not really a tunnel, but there's a very definite channel of wind through them, and you're breathing a lot of exhaust. Like I mean, you'd feel it. You feel it in your lungs when you get home. You have to, it's literally like having been at a bonfire or something, only not near as wholesome. Um, so that's one of the reasons I can't really travel by bike. But really, there's nowhere to go anyway, because it's all paywalls and uh, just it's restaurants and churches and booze and corporate you know, places like I want to say outlets, like Kroger's and Walmart and just stuff like that. And I don't know. I have this strong urge to travel. I have this strong urge to go see stuff, to interact with the world, right? But I step out on the porch and it's like, well, it's a 2 mile walk basically to the first. It's like a 2 mile walk to downtown, right? And downtown in a small red state is not really downtown, and it's wildly expensive if I want to sit down anywhere and do something and not look like a complete jackass. Like if I want to buy a coffee or a slice of pizza or something, it's going to be a stop because uh I'm not just expect everything's boutique. Everything's like, oh, it's downtown, so they're paying God knows what kind of rent, and they're not there for economics. Nobody goes downtown for a good price. People go downtown because there's nowhere else to go, and the rich people get as bored as the poor people, and everything capitalism leans into making money off the rich people, and so everything's expensive and crazy. So I never get anywhere. I go to my porch and I stand there for a minute and I'm like, hey, it's unseasonably warm. This is nice. I can walk in this. And then I'm like, where to? Right? So I come back in. Uh, I'm like 6'4" and 250, right? So uh, that limits my options for exotic modes of travel. Like I couldn't get a motorized scooter. I couldn't get like a um, one of those hoverboards kind of thing. And I have CP, and I've broken my heel, and it's not broken now, but I broke it in the past, and it's my foot's deformed anyway from CP. It's 3.5 sizes smaller than the other one. So just walking is not really an option for me. And that's one of the many things that keeps me from being able to find a job anywhere and or hold a job. I've never held one for longer than a couple years. And the one that causes me to say that, like if I eliminate the one that I held for 3 years, a work study position in a college that really wasn't a job, then I would have to say something like I've never held a job for longer than 6 months. And it's not because I won't work, and it's not because I'm like, a lousy employee. I just have a lot of disabilities, and they don't they don't let me stay for very long. And also, I talk, and that's gotten me fired a couple times. Just verbalizing things and not being too terribly afraid to say things in certain contexts. I mean, I'm not like brave or nothing. I will, but at the same time, uh, I can be kind of pushed over the edge. I'm diagnosed autistic, and uh, autistics kind of have tantrums. I will. My instance of autism is not terribly severe. I don't think. I don't know. I guess I leave that to history to decide. But um, I've basically gotten fired from been pushed to the point where I have to say some stuff, and being my size, it and I can be loud, you know. It it it, it causes drama, and it unintentionally freaks people out. So I go to my porch, I stop, and I just have this really strong urge to talk to people, right? And I try Twitter, and people don't really listen. I get views and likes and followers and retweets and stuff, but it's always really small little numbers. Nobody. I'm not a Twitter. I'm not famous on the internet. I don't know. I mean, and fame. The idea of fame sucks. I don't think I want to be famous, but it would be awesome to feel like I had a platform, to feel like I had people to talk to that were friendly, receptive, and the brass ring is being able to have warm running water from you know just to have it from doing this kind of thing. So I'm gonna link to my Patreon, whatever, and like that's just gonna go in my just general description, video description thing, and maybe I'll publish this like directly to Patreon. I don't know how that works. I've just been messing with the account. I want to talk about that a little bit too. I want my goal, like my harebrained scheme, is basically to find like 10,000 people that are willing to give me $1 a year for the rest of their lives. Like everybody's all like, I want X dollars a month. I don't need money per month. I want money per year so that I can, you know, and like 10,000 people. There's a billion people in my target pool. When you start cutting people off for English speaking, potentially interested, that kind of thing, you run out. So we'll just say a billion people is the pool I'm searching for. I'm not trying to make a billion a year, right? I'm not trying to recruit everybody, because if I ever got that level of famous, it would be disastrous. Like I don't want that kind of scrutiny. I don't want that kind of attention. But But like I said, it would be nice to have some warm running water and a washer and not be fucking terrified all the time of economic catastrophe. I've been to the dentist in like 20 years. I have like, yeah, this flowable cement shit. They stopped selling this on Amazon. The other people sell different kinds. It's like, so you put the goop in the hole in my tooth, and I use a little lamp, and you know, and it works, right? Like when I got this, again, like 20 years ago, I asked the dentist, I was like, I can't fix this. I don't have the money to fix this. It's a whole story, but it's like, so how long is until this massive hole eats to the root and I start feeling it? Right now, I don't feel anything. Yay, I hope it stays that way, forever. Ideally, that won't happen. Anyway, how long will I have this hole in my tooth before I start feeling it? And the dude's like 6 months. I'm like, well, shit. So I started with stuff like Dentec, and then I got bold and messed around with stuff like super glue, and I ended up with this. I used Bondic, which is like a polymer plastic stuff that cures with UV, and it's great, except your mouth bacteria can eat it, so it starts to degrade and rot, and it stops being clear hard plastic, and it starts being like a translucent, and it flakes and breaks. So I had to find something else, and there's this stuff. And of course, dentistry is extortion. That I can't get any kind of help, and it's funny. I have Medicaid in Kentucky, right? So I go looking for a dentist, and they all send me to Ohio. It's like in my town, the joke is, what do you do for fun in this town? And the answer is go to the nearest bigger town. And it's funny because, like, for dental coverage, Medicaid places that are accepting new, that's how it is. But anyway, so yeah, I would like to be able to talk to the webcam and talk to the computer and potentially survive. And I'm well aware of how good I have it. Okay. I'm not under any illusions about being a high priority target for aid or anything like that. I'm just some random old dude in this place that nobody cares about. I don't have a family, or nothing. Like, I don't have dependents. I have parents, right? An extended family that I never talk to. But could be worse. I get it, right? But at the same time, I would still like to live, This haircut, this is not a fashion choice. This is because I can't wash my hair. I don't shower. I like to clean myself with rags and stuff. And honestly, I don't do that much anymore. Like, and it's funny, you don't really have to. Like, I guarantee, because I've asked, like, hanging out with other people, it's like, do I like smell bad or whatever? I'm like, no, why? And I don't know. I want to help, and I want to help me, and I want to feel like I'm engaging with the world and talking to people and stuff. And I look good on paper. It's funny. Like, that's kind of a topic for video too. Credit rating is such bullshit. I have no income, right? But I have a exquisite credit rating. And I'm not sure how that happened, but it doesn't help me any. It's a holdover from when I had like a Washington Mutual credit card. Like, my credit card is from Washington Mutual, only it changed hands because that bank is no longer in existence. So it's like, but it only had like a $350 limit, and I kept paying it, right? So, and then, like I said, I had the work study job, and I had a credit card there, like, that I could actually afford, and actually had an income that I could report. So that allowed me to get like a pretty good card. And then I just You know, I don't have income and I don't put anything on it because I know I can't pay it. So like, and my parents will use it occasionally, and they'll basically give me money to like feed my cat, that kind of thing. Uh, and so just basic usage like that lets me have a good credit rating. But it's totally the American version of social credit score because hmm, oh, it's sliding completely off. That sucks. uh, Technology fail. Uh, and I'm a Kentucky Colonel, and I was president of my college. I went for 3 years, didn't get a degree because they kept it's a big scam, basically. When I left, I had like a 3.9. It's like I'm not lousy at what I do. It's just I can't do everything required to unlock that last achievement income. I feel like I have stuff to offer. I mean, I write and I read and I know things and I'm articulate. I like to think to an extent. So this is me being 43, looking for my niche still. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll publish this. We'll see after you watch it. If you watch it, thanks for watching. If you're completely loaded and want to help somebody that's like way up on the priority list for being helped, you know, or down, so to speak, don't, that would be great. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta fix this.